This is my favorite place on the planet. I think it's the best lake in the country if you want to catch big smallmouth and numbers of them, you know, from the start of the season to the end. Lake St. Clair is the place to be, and you know, the early pre-spawn bite can be really special. Got him. Got him. Got him, got him, got him. Temperature as cold as it is, it's challenging. You can't always catch them with fast moving baits, so you got to have a finesse approach in your arsenal, but you still want to be efficient to cover water. I've had so many great memories out here fishing with my boys and stuff, especially this time of year, so I'm super excited, man. Can't wait to get there, so let's get after it. You know, we started out there first thing off the bat and started throwing tungsten football head with a 375 Rage swimmer on, and it didn't take, man, 5 or 10 minutes and I caught the first one. I mean, but it was a real subtle bite. I mean, normally when you're winding that along and clicking those rocks, you'll feel don't, you know, and they'll just slack line you or they'll move with it, even in pretty cold water. But with 40, 41 degree water, it was a real spongy bite. So just getting those first couple of bites gave me a ton of confidence, but I could tell they were just a little bit weird. First bite of the day. Not a big one, but Lake St. Clair special right there. It's healthy, chunky. Water's 40.7 degrees right now, so. You know, for this deal, you don't have to use light line or anything. It's not typical smallmouth kind of deal. You know, I've got 20-pound fluorocarbon. You know, this water's chalky this time of year. This big rod, you can use a flipping stick for that matter for it, but I like this rod right here. It's got a short handle, 7.5 foot long, so you get a good sweep. You need to be able to move a lot of line on the hook set, but you got to catch up to them quick. You know, it's not that you're moving it fast, but all I'm doing is just keep that thing in contact with the bottom, let it do its thing. Let that tungsten banging those rocks is just, I mean, you get hung, that's where they're going to be, in those roughest places. Got it. That's a big one there. Oh, better one. A little bit better. Oh. Pretty good start to the day right there, boys. So, again, this is just a KVD Magic Rage swimmer right there. I've got it on a 3/4 ounce tour grade tungsten swinging football head. Got that mustad grip pin hook on there. That little keeper on there, man, is just key to keep that bait from sliding down. So, you know, I've had quite a few bites and caught 3 already on that one Rage swimmer. We'll see if we can get another one out of it. The thing that I love about that tungsten football head is just how sensitive it makes everything on the bottom feel. You know, if you got clean bottom, if it's not slimy, if it's not weedy, it's just a great tool to cover a lot of water and really feel the bottom. And the other key thing is, like when you're fishing around rocks like we were today, it's making a lot of noise, and smallmouth love to come to that noise, so they're really attracted to it. I'm convinced that, you know, it almost calls them over to that bait. So, you know, I just love fishing that rig, especially early in the spring like this. Oh, yeah. Just another nice solid. We do catch a lot of big ones this time of year, so it's just a matter of running into the right little stretch. A lot of birds diving this morning too, so you know, when the water's cold like this, we get a shad kill here, and they really feed up well on those shad too, so that's another primary thing. I catch them with a jerkbait really good here, the deep diving 300 series KVD jerkbait, and that oyster colors, or pro oyster, it's really hard to beat. Lake St. Clair is a really special place, but it can also be a really dangerous place. You know, as rough as this gets, you know, Mother Nature is not nice. And this time of year, you're gonna get a lot of fronts, you're gonna get a lot of days where you can't fish. And that's the downside to coming here, is you may sit on the bank for a couple of days. You know, yesterday the wind was blowing 30 to 40 mile an hour and we couldn't come here. You know, we had to go inland and fish a different body of water. So, but on a nice day like today, and if you get perfect conditions, it can just be absolutely amazing. It's a really, really special place, but you definitely got to treat it with respect. Reel to set the hook, right? God, it's just a chunk. Huh. Little footballs, pretty ones though. I've been missing them on that rage swimmer on the wobble head, and the water's so cold. It's, you know, 41, basically 41 degrees out here, and that water warms up into the mid 40s here. Gosh, it gets crazy how aggressive they can be. And you know, as it gets up to 50, then it's wide open. They start biting a lot of other baits and stuff as well. When it's real cold like this, you still catch some on a crankbait. You just got to move it slow. That jerkbait's still a real good bait, but man, day in, day out, keeping something right down locked on the bottom, like that wobble head or a swimmer is really good. You don't, you know, you're not fishing the swim bait up off the bottom. You're fishing it right, just ticking those rocks. It's a little bit smaller. I've been, like I say, I've probably missed twice as many as I've caught already on the wobble head, and it's just because they're real timid this morning. You know, at the post front, high bright skies, and you get this near one though, and they got it right in the rocks. Just gets heavy. Gotta move on, try to find some bigger ones. I like catching them though. I mean, a lot of cases you'll catch 3 or 4 like that, and then you'll catch a 5-pounder. There's a little better one. Yeah. Just another chunk. That one bit it better though. But I mean, they're just so thick and solid. That's why St. Clair is so special. I mean, it's just got so much forage that these fish grow fast. That the biologists, you know, here on the lake say that the growth rates on Lake St. Clair are almost twice what they are in the rest of the Great Lakes. I've always loved Lake St. Clair. You know, I started fishing it as a teenager. I fished some club tournaments. I fished some Michigan Bass Federation events here. And I've just seen how it's changed over the years. You know, I mean, once the zebra mussels got into this system, it really cleaned it up and it made the lake really expand. You know, we used to fish around the shoreline. The grass never grew out more than 6 or 8 feet. So it really was very limited, and the weights were nothing. I mean, back in the day, a 15-pound bag of smallmouth or largemouth was a really good stringer. Now, I mean, you better have 20, 25 pounds a day to even think about doing good in tournaments here. So, I mean, the lake has definitely boomed with the zebra mussels and the influx of the gobies and just how clear the water is. When you go out in the middle in the summer, I mean, you can see the bottom in 20 feet. I mean, it is the greatest smallmouth fishery in the planet. Bar none, hands down. I've been to them all, I've seen them all, and I think this place has got more smallmouth and bigger ones than any place I've ever been. A little bit better one. Oh, oh, chunk there. Look at there. So when you catch them like that in the bottom lip, they're biting funny. You know, it's just the cold, cold water, but gosh, they're pretty ones, man. There's a big one. That's the kind you come to St. Clair for right there in the spring. Big, thick one. Yeah. Yeah, when I pulled into that one, I knew that I had something special on there, man. It's just same deal. I'm just keep keep covering water. So hopefully he's got a bunch of buddies sitting out there. You know, today the focus was all about rocks. You know, I mean, I was looking with my Mega 360 and my Mega Live, but that Mega 360 is just the real tool. I mean, you're scanning all the way around the boat, and I'm just looking for those little rock clusters. So it's all natural rock. It's kind of gravelly, rocky patches that these fish relate to. So they set up on those in this pre-spawn, and you know, they're looking for crawfish and gobies. Those gobies love those rocks. Spring bite here at St. Clair, and it's all about the rocks. If you know me, you know that I love to fish for smallmouth. And my favorite place, without a doubt, is to come to Lake St. Clair. You know, I mean, all times of the year, it's pretty incredible. But if I could pick, you know, the way that I could choose to catch them, it's gonna be winding something. You know, I love catching them cranking, I like catching them on a spinner bait, but I absolutely love a jerk bait. You know, and my two favorite times of the year are the spring and the fall. And right now, it's spring, water's cold during the pre-spawn, and that means a jerkbait is going to be prime time. Biggin. Oh, I'm not sure if I should lift that one or, yeah. Solid one right there. I mean, just, so I have been watching all morning long these gulls diving out here. Gosh, you know, they're picking up some alewives. So if you see that, and a lot of times you'll see that over here or in lakes down south where you see a shad kill, man, there's nothing better. I mean, this oyster colored 300 series deep diving jerkbait just has that glow of those, you know, alewives, those white sides, and I'm pretty sure they're not gonna be able to handle it. So that's my first bite. I've tried it for about 5 minutes now, and I feel pretty good about it. Water's 42 degrees, and you know, jerkbait is just one of those key baits. You know, this 300 series deep right here is one that, man, I've caught a lot of fish on. It just gets to that next level. I've got it rigged with 12-pound line, so I can get it down, you know, 10+ foot deep. So I can fish it over, you know, even deeper water. This water's got a little chalk to it. So just having something that's real visible that they can see from a long ways away is gonna be really critical when they're feeding on those alewives. So they're looking up. This right here is like a beacon for them. The Mega 360 is just unbelievable out here. You know, when you're looking for these scattered rocks and stuff, it shows everything. Look at that, he came up there and swatted at it and got him in the side. Bigger, that's what those KVD trebles get you right there. Okay, buddy. Where's your mom? You don't feel very big. Oh, it is though. God, he's not fighting very hard for a big one. Look at that. I don't think he knows he's hooked yet. That's crazy. That's a solid one right there. I mean, long, lean, 2 casts in a row. You know, when you get around those rock clusters like that, it's not going to take long. And when they're looking up for bait, that's money right there. You know, my perfect jerkbait conditions would be sun and about a 10 or 15 mile an hour wind. That wind cuts down the light penetration. The sun makes the bait real visible to the smallmouth. I mean, that's the ideal conditions that you could really have for fishing a jerkbait. You add to that I saw birds patrolling the shoreline, you know, the kind of that first outside break, looking for bait. That's just medicine for a jerkbait slaughter. Oh, that's a chunk there. Nice fat one. Gosh, that's what they get for eating those alewives right there. They'll really get, I mean, that fish is 16 inches long and just ridiculous solid. You know, I love catching smallmouth any time of the year, but in the pre-spawn in the spring in cold water, when you're jerking that jerk bait and it just stops, I mean, they're not wild, they're not super fast, they're not jumping 3 feet out of the water. They're so cold that they're just bulldogging. So I just love when that rod just loads up and you just feel the weight of a big one. Man, it's pretty dang special. When you're fishing in the spring of the year like this, these fish get congregated, grouped up. I mean, a lot of times today, throw out there and catch one, throw right back out there, catch 4 or 5 in a row in consecutive casts. In the spring of the year, when that water's a little dirty like that, it happens more often than normal. I mean, and with a jerkbait with 3 trebles on there, you got a pretty good chance. So that was pretty cool to catch a double today. Got a double. Look here. Gosh. Look at there. Don't think they're wadded up down here. Not big ones, but gosh. Get rid of Junior here. There we go. I think I found a little school of them here. You see that happen a lot, you know, with a jerkbait in this kind of water. You know, and that gets a little chalky like this, and they're congregated. So I see a big boulder there on my Mega 360 and fired it out there, and I thought I might have hit the bottom or hit the boulder, and I'm like, gosh, that felt like a bite, and they came back and got it. Another one. Oh yeah. God, that feels like a good one there. Yeah, no doubt. I think that's a big one. Good one. Oh yeah. Gosh. Chunks. Golly, look at that guy. There is a wad of them there. I mean, you can cover a lot of water here, and there's a lot of rock out here, and then eventually you get in the right little spot and bam, every cast. I was beginning to wonder. I kind of went about 10 or 15 minutes there without a bite, just going along, just kind of sneaking along. I'm fishing, you know, a stretch that I've really not fished before. You know, there's rock on the whole shoreline, so you can, and you find the right little patch, boy, you can get well in a hurry. The conditions are getting really perfect too. I mean, it's getting where it's, oh, look at that. Look at that big old shad that this one here. I'm going to show you. This is what I was showing you what they were eating. Yeah. Oh, he come off. This is what we're matching with this oyster color jerkbait. You can see, I mean, the birds have been diving on these shad right here. And I mean, you just need something good and white like that. It's kind of whitish blue like that. And they're feeding on these things. They get stunned by this cold water and make it an easy meal, and they're just gorging on them this time of year. So just an awesome deal. Been an incredible day here at Lake St. Clair, man. I have caught a lot of bass today. It just is amazing to see how many are in here. Oh, he came unhooked from the mouth and got him hooked in the side. So healthy. This time of year, you know, it's all catch and release here at Lake St. Clair in the spring. You know, Michigan opened that season some years ago, and man, I'm so thankful that they did. So to be able to come over here, so many people come here from all over the country actually to experience this. You know, Mother Nature can be tough. You know, you've got to pick your conditions. It's a great place where you can catch a lot of fish, and you can catch them just about any way that you want. So I hope you learned something from, you know, this is my favorite way to fish. When you come over here and you're looking for fish, I don't care if it's spring, summer, fall, even winter up till ice, you can always catch fish on a jerkbait here. It's a great search tool to get you in the area. You want to have a little bit of everything rigged and ready to go, but this is one thing you better have tied on if you come here.